the season opens last night, and it was the Green Bay defense that was dominant, led by that man, their D coordinator, Mike Pettin, on a second quarter play. Look at Mitchell Trubisky. Bobby, nowhere to go.
Absolutely. In the past, he'd be able to scramble for that first down, but you look at the pressure here by Smith. Bull rushing up the field, sliding off, bringing down Mitch.
Packers had a 7-3 halftime lead, and then it was the former Bear, Adrian Amos, who would make the biggest play of the game as the Bears get in the red area. Does Mitchell Trubisky just telegraph this throw?
He leads him right where he wants to go, throws off his back foot, the ball floats through the air. Great break by Amos, and cradles and gets both feet down.
Packers also get some help up front with some offseason acquisitions. Darius Smith and Preston Smith both getting a game-clinching sack. Packers win 10-3.
It seemed like that they were all over the place. You know, it felt like we were getting pretty good pressure. I thought the coverage was on point, and you know that's a great credit not only to those players but our coaching staff as well. I thought Mike Pettin and our staff on defense designed a great game plan, and certainly were able to get some free runners tonight.
We wanted to make Mitch play quarterback. We knew they had a lot of weapons. We knew they were dangerous. We knew all of those things, but we knew if we could make Mitch play quarterback that we'll have a chance.
So that Packer defense really gave the Bears fits last night. The Bears averaged 19.2 yards per drive. That's the fewest by a Matt Nagy offense as head coach or offensive coordinator. We were going to get into the Green Bay defense, but that very specific soundbite really jumped out at me. Let's make sure that we're clear for the entire audience. When he says we wanted to make Mitch play quarterback, what does that mean?
Well, it's a nice way of saying we didn't really respect his ability to throw the football, is what he's basically telling you. And Mitch, you're going to be facing that all year long. You're going to be facing defenses that are going to say, we're going to try and shut down the run game. We're going to try and shut down your three-headed monster at running back, make you one-dimensional, get you to 3rd and 5+, and then we're going to see if you can deal from there. Because we don't think you can. And until you start throwing, until you start spreading the ball around, looking people off, manipulating defenders, making us have to play a little bit more sound fundamentally, we're going to send people at you all day long. We're going to take chances. We're going to jump routes. We're going to read your eyes. We're going to be flying all over the place because we don't think you can play the position very well.
That's a really bad start for Trubisky last night. Now, on the flip side, I want to give Dominique Foxworth a lot of credit. He's been in here for weeks, maybe months at this point, saying, forget about the new offense. It's the additions Green Bay made on defense, and at least for one night, Bobby, they did look really good.
5 defensive backs drafted in the first 2 rounds over the last 3 years. They've invested in it, and then they used it. Mike Pettin took those guys 47 snaps of dime defense. So what they did is they didn't allow Mitchell Trubisky to scramble and pick up first downs. They had a spy you saw right there, number 91, locking in on Trubisky. He breaks contain up the middle. He forces to throw the football. Here's another example. He steps up in the pocket, gets tripped up a little bit, but they have a spy right there. If you look in the past, last season, 23 yards per game scrambling. Last night, only 11. Green Bay was going to rush 4, have a guy with eyes back. And as like Lewis said, they're going to make you play quarterback. They're going to force you to throw the ball down the field into those tight windows, rush 4 guys, and see how patient you can be and if you can get through all of those progressions.
I want to see what other offenses look like on Sunday. Maybe on some level, these guys just had the bad luck of being the first ones out of the gate with the entire world watching. Maybe all the offenses will take a little time catching up with as little as everyone played in the preseason. But that was a bad offensive game.
Yeah, no question about it. Look, you can only get good at football, folks, by playing football, all right? It's just the way it works. And there's a reason why some of the old guard, like Andy Reid, like Bill Belichick, still has Tom Brady out there playing into the 3rd quarter in a preseason game, why Pat Mahomes, the reigning MVP, is playing significant snaps. Don't be shocked if those types of guys come out there and start lighting it up, whereas you see other guys who are going to struggle for a couple weeks.
Rodgers, Trubisky did not play at all in the preseason. Okay, that's one game down. The entire rest of the weekend to come. Let's run the hurry up with some other Week 1 action. Steelers, Patriots Sunday night. Mark Sanchez, what's one thing you're looking for in this game?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Patriots wideouts without N'Keal Harry, but I want to see Demaryius Thomas. I want to see Julian Edelman. I'm excited to see Tom Brady showcase what we all see every week, right?
I think a lot of people think that they could be even better this year than they've been in years past. That's the Sunday night game. Let's go to Chiefs-Jaguars. Jonathan Vilma, what's one big thing for this game?
It's Nick Foles and the Nick Foles show over in Jacksonville now. The defense has always been playoff caliber. Offensively, they were struggling, and now Nick Foles comes in having won a Super Bowl. What can he do, and who is the go-to receiver that he's going to build a rapport with? He had Alshon Jeffries when he was over in Philly. I want to see, is it D.D. Westbrook that's going to step up, or is it going to be Marquise Lee that's going to step up for him? Either way, look for Jacksonville to make a playoff run.
All of a sudden, everyone is high on Jacksonville. Giants, Cowboys, Acho, what are you watching?
Ezekiel Elliott. You know, Greeny, I spent some time in Cabo myself this offseason, and I put on a couple pounds. So I'm just wondering what effects it had on Zeke, averaging 4.7 yards a carry over the course of his career. Is he going to pick up where he left off? That's the question. The Cowboys clearly committed to him. They said our offense, it runs through Zeke. Well, Zeke, it's time to put up or shut up because they filled your pockets big time.
And then finally, Lions, Cardinals, Kyler Murray's much anticipated debut. Lewis, what will you be watching?
I'm going to be watching the Arizona Cardinals protection schemes and whether or not they're fundamentally sound as per Cliff Kingsbury, because I can tell you this, defensive coordinators around the league are licking their chops to get a look at this offense and see whether or not Cliff Kingsbury can protect the number 1 overall pick. They don't believe he can. If you watch the Oakland Raider game, and you're seeing some clips of it right there in the preseason, defensive coordinator Paul Gunther got after Kyler, and they had no answers for it. And I think that's something you're going to see teams repeat week after week after week until Cliff can prove that at Texas Tech he knew what he was doing from a pass protection perspective. Because I can tell you this, people around the league don't believe that he does know.
That was the same game where LaMarcus Joyner of the Raiders said, we want to put this out of the league. We don't like this kind of offense. I think a lot of defensive teams will be coming in. So, Acho, what do you expect that offense to look like?
They'll look good for a second. They'll look good for a season, but not in duration. I was in Philly when Chip Kelly first came in, and boy, we lit it up. Game 1 against the Washington Redskins Monday night. The whole league, we took them by storm. But then they started to adjust. Now, mind you, when we were in Philly, Sanchez, correct me if I'm wrong, we had the number 1 offense for a year. Yeah, and it was nice. It was nice. We were rolling, in fact. But after a while, Greeny, they began to adjust. And bear in mind, this was 5 years ago. Defensive has adjusted now to the spread, to the hurry up, to the zone read. It's not as fancy as it used to be.
So maybe the worst time, the hardest time to be playing this offense is week 1 because we really don't know what to expect. So, Vilma, if you're a linebacker getting set to play against them, what are you going into this game thinking about?
Blitz. That's what I'm going to do. We just watch what Oakland did. Blitz. You keep blitzing because you can also stop the run, and you can, as you said, affect the pass protection. And if the pass protection isn't there, you're going to get this man beat up. And then now we're talking about 3rd and long, 2nd and long, and that's an easy game to call once you get there. Blitz.
Sanchez, you were the starting quarterback in your first game as a rookie. If they send the house at Kyler Murray, what does he need to do?
He needs to have a contingency plan, and I don't know if he does. They got to get the ball out of his hand immediately when they send guys you can't block. He might set records for completions and attempts, but I don't know if it equates to success and wins.
So does anyone here think this is going to go really well? I can't find anyone who thinks this is
week 1 or overall?
I'll tell you what's going to be the key. The key is going to be that guy on your screen right there. It's going to be David Johnson, and whether or not they can run the ball and be a little bit more balanced. And that is going to be predicated on whether or not this offensive line is better than it was last year, because last year it stunk. So it's really you make them one-dimensional and you put it on Kyler's hands. Remember, Kyler's only, he's no bigger than a minute now. And those guys out there that are after him are trying to put a hurting on him.
How big is a minute? You started down here. How big is a minute?
Hey, let me tell you this, Kyler. I love you. I did a nice breakdown on you during the draft. Remember that. Remember that.
No, don't try to solve it all.
But they're coming after you now. They're coming after you.
Wait.
They're coming to get you.
Here's the only question I'd have. The Arizona offensive line was terrible last year. But the quarterback behind them was not a mobile guy. Does it matter as much now? Really quickly.
It's going to have to matter because you're right. I think pass protection is going to be a recurring theme for this team.
All right, we'll see. We finally get a look at this new offense on Sunday against the Lions. We'll make some picks as we continue this morning. Meanwhile, the U.S. Open continues today on ESPN. The men's semis at 4 Eastern time. You'll see Medvedev against Dimitrov in the first match, and then the 3-time Open champion Rafa Nadal taking on Matteo Berrettini in prime time. U.S. Open tennis today on ESPN. Meanwhile, coming up here on Get Up on ESPN, what does Antonio Brown's agent have to say of all that's happened now? He will join us live next. Don't miss it.